Chuck, Bob, I can't believe we have such powerful back-to-back segments in one show. This is incredible. Take it from a global creative leader to a global
creative
media
leader
distributor.
Hopefully we can live up.
Well, tell us who each of you are and
to.
exactly what your roles are for Verizon, if that's okay. Well, that's okay.
Well, I represent Verizon to the external audience for all of our telecom and landline operations, including the fiber network we're installing and anything else Verizon, except Verizon Wireless. That's when my friend Chuck comes on board.
That's right. I serve in the same role for Verizon Wireless.
Okay.
Okay, so
who's got the most exciting job? I'm sorry.
I know, right?
Well, we work a lot together, so we share the excitement
Good
wherever we
answer.
can.
Well, how has Verizon Wireless positioned itself in the age now of digital technologies and all the things that wireless things can do for you? Things because there's some more. Well, I'm going to let them tell that too.
Well, I'd have to say that the ultimate position that we've taken is to have the best and most reliable network, and everything we offer digitally or otherwise is based on that. So we've understood that network is the ultimate natural resource for the wireless industry, and we've built that network with that sort of thinking. That's allowed us to bring on products like VCast Music, VCast Video, location-based services that can give you audible directions right to your doorstep, those sorts of things.
Well, we read an article earlier this week that talked about, and I'm going to ask you some questions in just a minute, but we read an article. Well, I don't want you to, but in my head, I got questions for you. But
I don't get to talk either. Don't worry about it. I'm kidding. That was a cheap shot. Okay.
We read an article earlier this week that said 80% of the people who can have cell phones have cell phones. So right now what people are marketing toward are data, what's the word? Data
services?
Data services. Now, is it true that 80%, because we had this little argument earlier.
We didn't have an argument. It was a discussion.
80% of the data services that people use are by 20% of the people that use them?
I'm not sure if the exact accuracy of that, but certainly there are power users out there, and businesses in particular have found a lot of value in these data services because it makes their mobile workforce, or their workforce, which they didn't even think of as being mobile, makes them efficient. They can file reports from the field. They can actually access databases from the front seat of their car, right here in downtown Tampa or wherever they need to be. And so there's no need to go back to the office to give that information to people. It can get right into the system and already start generating bills so that they can get their money and those sorts of things.
Can you, and I'd like everybody, both Chuck and Bob, both of you guys to sort of talk about the convergence of land versus air, digital, cellular, mobile versus what's, on the ground and what's wired into the ground, and how those two, the convergence of media and what we're watching today from our telephone, landline, to our telephone, cell phone, to our mobile video, to our cable subscriptions,
everything.
And all the stuff that's happening. Can you give us 30 seconds, a minute on that?
Well, the wireless company is well on their way to being able to provide the best data services for you wirelessly. We're in the process of putting in a fiber network that's going to turn your home into basically a media center. Where you can have your computer talking to your television, you can come in the house with your wireless phone, make things work. Have one device in one room that serves all of your rooms. So it really all comes down to the strength of the network. We're much the same as wireless. We've decided to be a broadband leader with the installation of our fiber network, and we're well on our way into that process.
We're actually switching over soon from our current provider to Verizon.
Good.
How have you, somewhat new to the market, how have you seen the switch over going, or were people asking and begging for it?
They very much like it and want it, and people who have it frequently tell others.
Word of mouth is good.
Well, I've seen more than one or two people call someone in to see their high definition television, and next thing you know, you've got people, and I've got to have that thing because the picture is so awesome, it's so incredible. The speeds that you get with the fiber internet connection.
Incredible.
Right now we're offering 5, 15, or 30 megabits per second, but we're soon going to increase those speeds to 20 and 50 megabits per second for consumers.
Wow. When they're calling their buddy, and hopefully they're using a Verizon cell phone
or text messaging, perhaps
text messaging to get those messages
or the
across.
Landline phone, they could use that.
Yeah.
How's the popularity of what's the most popular
data
service and or non-traditional telephone kind of service?
Voice.
Like whether it's internet surfing or is it text messaging, and you see the popularity of that. Give us a little bit of love on that.
Well, from the wireless side, certainly text messaging is incredibly popular, primarily among the youth. They've certainly that's it's almost more important than talking to them is to be able to text message. The music, VCast Music, which is our branded music service, has proven to be extremely popular.
And it's huge now, isn't it?
It's huge, and it's more of that convergence. You can go to the gym and you can take your cell phone, or you can take the
other
iPod,
stuff,
the
other
other
stuff.
iWord.
Right.
Or now you can take your cell phone, which has all your digital music right there. It'll interrupt the song to let you know you've got a call coming in. So there's all these.
Is it expensive though for the VCast?
Well, it's $1.99 per song, but you get 2 copies. You get one for your home. You get one sent directly to your handset, and you don't have to go onto the internet to do it. You can do it over the air, through your phone while you're sitting in traffic or wherever you might be.
What about if I wanted to watch video on my telephone? Is there something that you guys have
cool
struck
partnership?
a little cool partnership going on with you guys?
Well, actually, yes. We just announced at CES in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago that VCast Mobile TV is going to be launched, and this will be broadcast TV over your cell phone, 8 channels, and it's not just clips where prepackaged or whatever. It's the best of what's on TV. May or may not be live at that moment, but soap operas, football games.
You found there's a need for that. People are wanting to watch these shows on their cell phone.
Absolutely.
You also have another huge partnership, don't you?
Well, she's talking about YouTube, I think.
I am talking about YouTube.
Yes, we do, and it's proven to be. We set records with the number of downloads through our VCast service with YouTube. Don't have the exact numbers, but
it doesn't matter. Setting
big,
records is good
numbers.
enough for me.
We're not math guys
enormous.
anyway.
I'm a math guy. I'm a cool guy with a phone, and I can talk to you.
I think the secret today for consumers is they want to be able to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, where they want to do it, and that's what we're bringing to the market. Whether it's in your home, whether it's in the airport, whether it's driving down. You're supposed to be driving down the road and using your phone.
We prefer that you pull over.
Yeah, we'll say that you don't, but it's a way to live. They expect more out of us, more productivity. Thanks to you guys. Appreciate it. No, cutting edge, convergence, media, music, songs, media, music, songs, telephone,
anything that they
cable,
want, data.
You got it. Data.
It's not just the stuff. It's the network that makes the difference. Whether it's
It's
wireless
the people.
or whether it's the landline network, fiber network, it really is what makes the
These
difference.
love marks by Kevin Roberts might be a good philosophy, which I'm sure you guys already have your own, but for Verizon.
I like
it's
that. I'm
working
going to give that.
That's right.
You should definitely check this out. It is incredible.
Thank you both very much for taking time out to come join us. Give us some contact information if anybody needs to get a hold of either one of you or want for any reason.
For me, it's chuck.hamby, Hamby, at verizonwireless.com.
And Bob.Elek, ELEK, at verizon.com.
Thank you both very much for coming in. I hope you enjoyed the tour earlier.